Hello and welcome to a Blaseball Statistical History, a look at the Tokyo Lift's development across the expansion era. The Lift joined the ILB at the start of season 11, so have played just one season in the league so far. They have a few strong batters, but otherwise the team is patchy. The Lift do not have a good time in season 12. Saved from the bottom spot only by the arrival of the breach teams, they finish 5th in their division and 20th in the league. Sun 2 only activates in their opponent's favour, and they face 5 negative blood rains and an allergic peanut reaction. One player takes a brief trip elsewhere, but even 5 parties don't help the team much. In the election, Wyatt Quitter gains the Flippers mod, and a lineup change is made. This means very little change in the team's level heading into season 13. They have another poor showing, as even with the weaker breach teams, the Lift comes second last in the league. They are wildcarded into the postseason, where they are immediately knocked out by the Wild Wings. Sun 2 and Black Hole both see negative outcomes for the Lift, and they are the victims of 2 more negative blood rains and another allergic peanut reaction. However, things might look up with 19 parties. Coming bottom 4 does mean 3 wills, so the Lift are able to infuse a player, make a trade with the garages, and make another lineup change. 2 more of their players gain flippers as the team win a blessing, and the Millennials revoke Alejandro Leaf, who roams to the Lift. All of this improves the team, with a consistent rotation and a few star batters. And it shows, as the Lift leap halfway up the rankings, finishing 3rd in their division and joint 12th overall. They once again are a postseason wildcard, this time making it out of the wildcard round, before being knocked out by the Tigers. In the Earl Siesta, their Arcana is drawn as part of the reading, making Wyatt Quitter a receiver. However, this ends in tragedy, as they become static, alongside Wyatt Mason, who the team gained in the late Siesta. A quiet season otherwise, with 4 players going elsewhere. In the election, the Lift choose to infuse a player and make a rotation change. They also win 2 blessings, gaining the buttered up mod for the team and re-rolling the hitting of some of their worst batters. The lineup is now a player shorter, but looking stronger, and the rotation remains good. More improvement as the Lift move to 2nd in their division and 10th in the league. They don't make the postseason, but they do steal a win from their opponents with Black Hole. 1 player returns from their extended time elsewhere, and 2 more have brief visits. Another allergic peanut reaction and a consumer attack compete with 5 parties. 2 wills see the team alternate a player who arrives with the parasite modification, and move Nandi Slumps from their rotation to lineup. None of these events make an obvious difference in the team as they head into season 16. But the impact on performance is clear, as the Lift slip down to 19th in the league. A very quiet season for the team. 2 of their players are observed and 1 is redacted, but the only other events are the 7 parties they receive. In the election, they move another player from rotation to lineup and steal Jessica Telephone from the Tigers. However, they have their own star batter stolen by the Shoe Thieves. They also gain Mags Banananana, who roams from the Wild Wings. Mags isn't a bad addition to the rotation, and Jessica Telephone makes up for the loss of Goodwin Morin, although their replacement Alexandri Walton isn't a bad batter either. Season 17 sees the Lift gain 1 spot in the league, but move down 1 in their division. They face the tragedy of their first incineration, and there is a negative blood rain to deal with, as well as losing a win to Black Hole weather. Cudi de Batterino spends over 1/3 of the season elsewhere, and 3 parties do little to improve spirits. In the election, the Lift vote to steal a pitcher from the Shoe Thieves, and pick Transfusion for another member of their rotation. The rotation has a large boost, with the addition of Inky and Party Time and Wills seeing the other pitchers improve too. This allows the Lift to fare better within their own division, but they remain low in the overall standings. Sun 2 only goes against them, and several players, including their strongest batter, spend a lot of time elsewhere. However, there are 3 positive blood rains and 5 parties to boost the team. They also receive 3 gifts, increasing the souls of their players, gaining an item, and becoming life of the party for the rest of the season. 2 wills allow the Lift to alternate Jessica Telephone, who arrives with the negative mod, and to infuse a Shadows player. They trade a batter with the stakes, but also win a blessing, seeing Cootie gain the mod Intuitive. Alternating Jessica Telephone has reduced their batting power, but they enter the season elsewhere anyway. The lineup has several strong batters, but a big gap in the middle, whilst the rotation remains strong. In Season 19, being bad is good, and the Lift comes second in their division and 8th in the league. This places them in the postseason, where being good is good, and the Lift make it from the wildcard round all the way to the finals, where they win their first Internet Series championship. Their Arcana appears in the league-wide seasonal reading, leading to Nandi Slumps becoming an Undertaker. Black Hole steals 2 wins from the Lift, and 2 from their opponents, whilst Elsewhere proves popular for short stays, as several players spend a few days away, and the team sees 3 negative to 1 positive blood rains. 3 more gifts protect the team from incinerations, let Silver Semiquaver be ambitious, and give an item to Rylan O'Lantern. During the election, the Lift bring Kit Honey out of the shadows, having infused them in the previous season, and reverse the stakes swap. However, several other teams want a player from the Lift, as the Moist Talkers steal from the rotation, whilst the Magic and Stakes both take strong batters. But the player the Stakes send back gains the mod Outdoorsy from a blessing. With the player trades, the lineup loses a lot of its power, but the rotation doesn't weaken. Things return to normal as being good is good again, and the Lift still comes second in their division. However, they enter the underbracket as a wild card, where they make it to the division series before losing to the Wild Wings. Black Hole and Sun 2 weather is beneficial, as the team gain 5 wins, but they do suffer a negative blood rain. They also wave goodbye to Gooby Balson, as they send them to the Georges in exchange for Jan Canberra. Holiday time goes up, as players spend a total of 153 days elsewhere during the season, but there are also 5 parties. Gifts allow the team to be life of the party, safe from feedback, and gain a replica of old player Goodwin Morin. Wills allow the team to shorten their rotation and make a player trade with the stakes. The Georges take back their feedbacked player, and Evelton McBlaze II roams away to the Wild Wings. Rotation and lineup are both shorter, with the latter still patchy in power, and the former now having more chances for the strongest pitchers to shine. In Season 21, the Lift slipped back down the rankings, finishing 21st overall. They qualify for the underbracket, making it to the semi-finals, where they are knocked out by the Sunbeams. Weather grants them 8 additional wins. All attempted consumer attacks are defended against, and their missing players return from elsewhere, alongside 8 parties. However, this does not go unchecked, as there is an allergic peanut reaction, and the team's star hitter is incinerated. The introduction of fax machines and voicemail also create a real mix-up of the roster. More gifts make the team the life of the party, safe from incinerations, and give player items E-dense elements. The Lift get 3 wills in the election, and use these to infuse a Shadows player, make a trade with the Moist Talkers, and magnify one of their batters. But they do lose their strongest pitcher to the Shoe Thieves. The rotation now has an average of 4 stars per pitcher, which is not a bad place to be. The lineup is also slightly more consistent, with less star hitters and instead a stronger all-round set of players. But the Lift perform worse again, coming 5th in their division and joint 22nd overall. Despite qualifying for the under bracket, they are wild-carded into the over bracket, where they make it to the final before being swept by the Breathmints. The team gains 6 wins from the weather, but face a negative blood rain and a couple more trips elsewhere. Voicemail and fax machine allow Ankle Halifax and Cudi de Batterino to swap places between lineup and rotation, before Cudi is shelled. The team gains 13 parties, and Yusuf gains the 5th base from the Georges bubble, before placing it into the gym a day later. Baldwin Breadwinner, who acquired the 5th base on day 84 and keeps hold of it, super roaming between teams, arrives on the Lift with it on day 108. Only receiving 2 gifts this late siesta, the Lift opt for replicas of the detectives, Liquid Friend and Uncle Plasma. Once again, the team get 3 wills, so they vote to steal an item, revoke mags from their rotation, and make another player trade with the stakes. As a result of blessings, they lose Flattery Stroonbury to the garages, Klein Green Lemon becomes a subtractor, and Grollis Zephyr becomes skipping, whilst Baldwin Breadwinner takes the base and roams to the flowers. Going into season 23, both the lineup and rotation are pretty powerful, and even a shelled pitcher won't be too much of an issue. This is proved correct, as the Lift rocket up the league, coming top of their division and 4th overall. They head into the postseason, where they are knocked out in the division series by the Worms. Black Hole and Sun 2 only activate for their opponents, but they do gain 5 wins from Sun 30. Fax Machine sees Uncle Plasma 14 swapping in and out of the shadows, and there is a lineup change too. The Lift get 1 party, but lose 4 of their Shadows players through the Thieves Guild to the Firefighters, Tacos and Wild Wings. Another 2 gifts grant the Lift life of the party and a steel chair for Ankle Halifax. In the election, the team choose the roamless party favour and join the rest of the league in becoming under review. They win a blessing, giving the Wild High a hitting boost, but also lose a Shadows player to the Tacos. The Lift enter season 24 with the shortest team they've ever fielded, but it has considerable power behind it. The team have a rough time in the final season. They finish 21st of the 24 ILB teams and 5th in their new division of the Horizon. They are nullified on day 82. But before they and the Suns are nullified, they gain 4 wins from them. The lineup gets reverbed and is also altered due to 2 voicemails and a night shift. The team faces 3 consumer attacks, but do gain a tractor Frankie Incarnate as they are batted in by Cicero Gubbins. With help from their friends, the Lift heads straight for the Black Hole, where they dance around a bit before ending the season there, and get nullified by it as soon as it starts spreading. In the expansion era, the Lift face 2 incinerations, 1 feedback, 1 reverb, but also get 71 parties. They have no yummy peanut reactions, but 4 allergic, the most in the Wild High. Blood Rain goes mostly against them, with 13 negative to 4 positive, and the same stands for both Black Hole and Sun 2, with 16 negative to 9 positive for the former and 12 negative to 9 positive for the latter. This means the Lift have the most negative Blood Rains and Black Holes of their division. One of their players is shelled and ends the era that way. They face no instability, but there are 2 observations, one of which results in a redaction. 1 night shift, 7 voicemails and 8 fax machines, alongside losing 4 Shadows player through the Thieves Guild. 31 of their players visit elsewhere, with the longest stay being 92 days away. They gain 18 wins from Sun 30, but face 8 consumer attacks. Their Arcana, Strength, appears in a seasonal reading twice. They are given 16 gifts by their friends, are awarded 23 wills, and win 6 blessings. The Lift compete in 5 over-bracket postseasons, thrice as wildcards, and win 1 championship, making them one of 2 teams in the Wild High to win a championship in the expansion era. They also compete in 2 under-brackets, once as a wildcard. The lift truly started from the bottom, but saw some serious gains. Although it was a bumpy road, they finished the era with a championship to their name and a stacked roster. Thank you for joining me for another Blaxplanation. I'll be back with more Blaseball fun and facts soon, but until then, rejoice, play ball.